Hey, and welcome back to the Sports World of the World podcast. I'm your host, Splash, here with my co-host.
Yeah, I'm the co-host. I don't get enough credit as I deserve.
Turn to the dark side.
Yeah.
Darth Speed back on the show. We haven't recorded these in a minute, not gonna lie. Probably been like a week. So good to be back. Just complete lack of content to talk about.
Yep.
Uh,
Nothing's happening.
nothing's happening. You have you like been I don't know, do you like go for runs or anything like that?
All the time, yeah.
All right, do you
I get
like
out the house a lot.
yeah, I've noticed it a lot. I've been keeping track, and I would say the people I see out most are like people who you wouldn't necessarily normally see just
Yeah,
going for a
definitely.
walk. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, there's definitely
there's
people who don't get out much are all of a sudden getting out.
yeah, and that's good because you can't get out as much. But I'll see like 80-year-old Francine going for a midday run. You know what I mean? Uh, but so today we're gonna be just playing. I talking about some futures of NBA and NFL teams. Here's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna say a team, then you're gonna say if you think they're gonna be better next year, worse next year, and then I'll ask if you want to talk some more about that team,
All right.
and then we'll just go on from there. So do you want to talk about NBA or NFL first?
Let's do some NBA first.
Just see NBA first. So I'm gonna try and mix it up. I'm gonna try and do a little bit of East, a little bit of West.
All
Let's
righty.
start off with a pretty young team, Memphis, the Grizzlies.
I like where they're headed.
So you
I
think they're
mean,
gonna be better next year?
I think they're gonna progressively get better. They're kind of still stuck in that old method of play, like power it down inside. I think if they get a couple more shooters and just get like some more, they move from outside or from inside to outside more, they're gonna progressively get better.
Yeah. So and that's the thing. Like Valanciunas is like productive, but the thing about Valanciunas is sometimes like sometimes you don't really want to watch Valanciunas do consecutive post ups. Sometimes you just want to watch Morant and them like shoot and and they're more. It's more fun to watch the
Yeah,
guys.
that's.
But I think they're blowing expectations out of the water. Do you want to talk about it a bit more, or do you want to move on?
I mean, I definitely like the direction Ja Morant's going. I think he could potentially be a league MVP type player in the next couple years. I think
Yeah,
he's
no,
hands down rookie of the year.
I think he's gonna be of like I think he's gonna be like what maybe like what Simmons did where he did make the All-Star game his first year, but he made it I feel like he's gonna make it next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I feel like this prop might be the last year of Chris Paul being like a very
A
really
top
good,
player.
yeah,
Yeah.
being an All-Star at least. So
Yeah.
and then maybe, I don't know, it depending if Ja surpasses Mitchell or Booker, or if any trades happen.
I feel like
Um,
Ja Morant maybe one day could be like a Derrick Rose type player.
yeah, I can definitely see that. I can see that. I could see. I'm trying to think. He kind of reminds me of. No, actually, I can't really even say Kyrie because Ja's winning a lot more than Kyrie was in his first years in Cleveland. No, but I like the Grizzlies and I think they're going to be good, especially with Jaren Jackson, Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
They just got a good team. I want to see if they have uh what if they have picks, like what picks they have.
Draft picks.
Yeah, so Memphis Grizzlies.
I think they might a move for them might be to trade away Valanciunas and draft a young center, a young big man,
Yeah,
be able to trade him for shooting.
I think either the goal is to be able to draft a center or be able to get to the point where Jaren Jackson can run center, like
Yeah.
get him to the point where he can rebound enough to be their center. Because
hmm
that's like the main thing he lacks at the moment is He's not a very good rebounder.
Yeah.
I think he only gets like I'm not sure, but he's not a good rebounder. I think let me see if I can find the Grizzlies uh roster. Here it is.
Yeah.
So Jaren Jackson
He's
Jr.
averaging 4.7 right
Yeah,
now.
4.7. That is not very good for a power forward. So like but if he can get better at rebounding, I think they'd be pretty set running him at the center.
Yeah.
Um, Next team,
Hmm.
this one's a bit this is a bit weirder. I'm gonna say the uh Spurs.
The Spurs. I mean, they're not really young so much. I mean, I think they definitely have to get out of the DeMar DeRozan era soon.
Yeah, so
They're,
are we gonna
they,
talk about them more, or are we gonna
I
tweak
mean,
on stuff?
they've just they were kind of like uh the Hornets the past couple of years. They're stuck in between that. Should we rebuild? Should we keep trying to go with this? What do we do here?
Yeah. They kind of seem a little stuck in the past too. Like
Definitely.
they have like I mean Aldridge has been shooting more threes, but DeRozan
Yeah,
and like
he hasn't
he
gotten
doesn't
better.
shoot threes. DeJounte Murray,
Right.
I'm pretty sure is not a great 3-point shooter. He might be decent, but he's more of a defensive guy. I just think I was watching a video actually, and they could have had Brandon Ingram in the Kawhi trade, but
Really?
instead,
I didn't know
because
that.
they were so stubborn and didn't want to trade with the Lakers, because Spurs and Lakers pretty big rivals
Not great
throughout the
friends.
throughout the Duncan and Kobe era, that they wouldn't make a trade with them, and that stubbornness uh, ended up benefiting, I guess, in the long run, the Lakers and the Pelicans. But I
Yeah.
think once DeRozan leaves and Aldridge leaves, Murray's pretty good. They just need to draft some more young guys.
Yeah, I think if they draft well, they could set themselves up for a good future.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
like, and the thing about Popovich is you're going to this like even if you let's say you get rid of Aldridge, I think Aldridge might be on the last year of his contract, if I'm not mistaken.
Might be.
He I'm actually not sure when his contract expires, but it's either this year or next year is the last year of Aldridge's contract. So let's say they don't re-sign him, and then whenever DeRozan's contract expires, they don't re-sign him or they trade DeRozan. I don't know who's
Yeah.
going to take DeRozan. He's probably not the most valuable piece with his lack of shooting, but you never know. They'll
Mhm.
be able to with Popovich, and if they get a good draft pick, he's going to be able to make them into like a Grizzlies type 8 seed, even without a ton of talent.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, um, next team we're gonna go with the Pacers. Next year, better or worse? What's your feeling?
Um, I think they could get better next
All
year.
right. Uh, Do you want to talk about them more, or you want to
I
move on
mean,
to the
I
next team?
think when Oladipo kind of gets his mojo back, that's definitely going to help them escalate Brogdon. I think Brogdon and Oladipo could work well together.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Miles
true.
Turner is going to keep getting better.
Yeah, that team is one of the best defensive teams in the league. I think they're going to drop in the standings, but I only think that because I think that the Brooklyn is basically the only reason why Brooklyn's going to be back to Kyrie and KD are going to be healthy again.
Yeah,
And so that's the only thing that worries me about this Indiana team. Like they have a lot of good players, but I don't think they have that one player at the moment who kind of puts them over the edge. And also,
yeah,
uh, yeah, actually, the team I also think who could sneak their way into the playoffs, uh, is the next year is the Bulls.
yeah,
And that's because of all the stuff you've probably seen. Like I think they're hiring a new GM,
yeah. They just
and
fired someone, and
yeah,
they're,
who
they're
did
kind
they
of starting
fire?
over.
They fire? They didn't fire the coach, right? They
No,
fired
I think it was their GM
they fired
Garfinkel.
their GM. Yeah. So do you think they're gonna be better next year?
Yeah, I think they're gonna get some new management. They're gonna make a couple changes. I don't think necessarily anything big, but the couple changes that they do make are gonna impact them enough to get them to the playoffs. And I think
Yeah, I
Zach
think they
LaVine's
could get
gonna
the eight
continue.
seed. I think they could get
Yeah,
the eight seed next year, especially if they play free agency right, because they have the the cap. They'll have the cap space. Make a couple little trades. They'll have the cap space to bring in one of the. I think so. I think the guy they really want, but everyone really wants him, is Anthony Davis.
oh
Um,
yeah. I don't.
but
I mean, I know he declined his option with the Lakers, but
mhm.
I think he only did that so he could re-sign with a bigger contract.
That's very true. The only reason I would even consider him going to Chicago is because he was born there. But I'm not. That's just. I'm not sure if that would actually.
I don't think he's gonna leave the
That
Lakers,
yeah, I'm not sure.
especially if this season doesn't continue and they end how they were. I think he would definitely want to come back and see what they can do in a full season.
No, yeah, yeah. That's a good point. Uh, here's actually a bit of a tricky one. The Hawks. What's your feeling on the Hawks for next year?
I mean, obviously their team revolves around Trey Young. He's got to pick
hmm
it up on the defensive end for them to really improve
Yeah. No, no,
because
you're right.
you can't just win games by scoring points. You have to
hmm
get stops. So,
And I
I mean, other than that, I mean, their positions they're all right all around. They're
Yeah,
okay.
that's the thing about them. They're player. They don't have. I wouldn't say they have any really bad players, but I don't think they have anyone really good. Like John Collins is pretty good. Uh, Cam Reddish is pretty good. They traded for who they trade for? I'm blanking out. Uh,
Capella.
Capella. They traded for Capella. He hasn't played all year because of the injury, but or well, he played early in the year for the Rockets, but he didn't play for the Hawks yet. So
Hmm.
yet to see how he'll be. But I think and him and Young should be pretty good together in like a pick and
Yeah,
roll kind of thing.
yeah, are getting
Uh,
it all his missed threes
yeah, and
from way downtown.
He'll pick up slack on defense, and the Hawks are gonna get another good draft pick. So we'll see what
Yeah.
if they can get like a lottery pick this
What
like
position
a
do you think they should go for?
probably like a wing
Hmm.
because like Trey Young, I think they're gonna want to stick with Trey Young, and
Yeah.
they just traded assets for who did they end up trading for Capella? Was that like a pick or did they trade players?
Let's see. I don't know.
I found it. Oh, it was the it was a four deal trade. It was the
Right. Yeah.
Covington.
Covington.
So it was Covington.
There
Let's
were
see.
12 players in the trade, I think.
It was the Rockets got Covington and Jordan Bell, uh,
Hmm.
and the Hawks gave up a second round pick. The Hawks got Capella and Nene. The Rockets got Diao. Who else did? So it looks like the Hawks gave up Evan Turner, a first round pick, and a second round pick
Hmm.
for uh but not all to the Rockets. It kind of
Right.
spread out through the Wolves, the Rockets, bunch of teams. And the and got Capella and Dene. So I think they'll be decent. I think they'll be slightly better than this year. But then again, like next year's Eastern Conference isn't gonna be all that bad. Like,
Yeah.
all right, I don't think the Knicks are gonna be good. The Cavs aren't gonna be good. Pistons probably aren't gonna be good. And the Hornets I don't see being good. But like I feel like the Wizards will probably be better than last year because they'll get John Wall back.
Yeah.
And assuming Bradley Beal doesn't demand a trade, I think that team could compete for like an eight seed.
Yeah.
So
Especially if John Wall can get back to his prime. So,
yeah, definitely. And Bertans is pretty good. Thomas Bryant's decent. Though I did see the thing that if the guy if the Wizards got GM wasn't so stupid, they next year they could have had a starting lineup of John Wall, Bradley Beal, Kelly Oubre, Otto Porter, uh, and Thomas Bryant. Like they could have had a much better lineup than they do this year. Because they traded Kelly Oubre for basically nothing.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm just curious to see what they're like. I think we should do one more NBA team before switching over to NFL.
All right.
And I think that NBA team should be something a little more personal.
Ah, the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yes, yes. So yes, nah. We both know who we're talking about. Sixers. What are you thinking?
Um, it's gonna
Not what you
depend
want,
on.
not what you want to happen, but what you actually think is gonna happen.
It's obvious. It's gonna depend on consistency. That's our word. How are we gonna
Yeah.
be consistent, specifically on the road?
Yep, that's the killer. I was looking at this. I was looking at these contracts that we signed the all season
Al
today,
Horford. Oh,
and they just make me like
oh,
cringe a bit. Like, why did we need to give Al Horford that much money? Why did we need to give
190
Tobias that
million.
much money?
Right.
They probably would have signed to slightly less. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you could have given Tobias 160 mil, other than like 100. What do you get? 180.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Like you could have given him less money. I think you could have given Horford like 85, like even 90 mil. Like even that would have been better than 98 guaranteed, 107 with the championship. It's just kind of the only good thing move that's looking like really good from this offseason is that Richardson signing trade, because
Hmm.
he's on such a cheap deal.
Yeah, I like Richards.
Yeah, I other than that though, I
I
don't
mean,
know, man.
I want us to get a good draft pick this year, but
We might have who's I'm trying to think who's
it's gonna depend
drafting.
on that Thunder pick.
Is it the Thunder's pick?
It's the Thunder, yeah.
Well, that doesn't even mean anything because the Thunder are going to be good.
Well, no, we want they're in the playoffs. If they were an 8 seed, top
No,
eight.
no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We're not even though we are going to get that pick, it's still going to be not a great pick. It's going to be like a top. It's probably going to be like the 22nd pick in the draft.
Sometimes good talent falls that low.
It is true. Sometimes good talent does fall that low, but like it's not like we got a lottery pick.
Yeah, but sometimes the top pick sucks. Markel Fultz.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Marcus
That
Gasol was selected 48th overall. Ginobili was
who is selected 48th?
uh Marc Gasol, and
Yeah.
Ginobili was what 57, I think.
He was really late. Isaiah Thomas was 59th or 60th. Um, Siakam was late 20s. Butler was 30th.
What was it?
So
Wasn't
yeah.
Anthony Davis like 45 or something too?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I think so. I thought he was low like that.
For some reason, maybe he was. I thought he was high, but maybe he was drafted with the hold up.
Holding up.
Holding. Come on, why you not? It'll say. Give me a second. He was.
Why is this hard?
I what?
Why is it this hard? What was he?
It's hard to. I don't know, 'cause I gotta get all these websites. He was selected first.
He was?
Yeah.
Why did I googled it, said 45.
Wait, you just Googled it?
I was on some Bleacher Report thing, and it said best NBA draft steals.
I don't know then. Yeah, because it was Davis was first. Beal was third, and Lillard was sixth in that draft, and Drummond was ninth, and
Oh,
Draymond
of
was.
course, it was Antonio Davis.
Draymond was 35th,
Oof.
and Chris Middleton was 39th in that draft.
Oh, I'd love to have a Chris Middleton type player.
Dang, imagine being the Kings and drafting Dion Waiters over Damian Lillard, and being the Hornets and drafting Michael Kidd-Gilchrist over Bradley Beal and Damian Lillard.
Hey, You cut out.
Oh, did you hear what was the last thing you heard me say?
I didn't hear the guy's name.
Which Bradley Beal.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I said imagine drafting Dion Waiters over Damian
Oh
Lillard.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Not the brightest.
No, not the best. Let's next. So now we're gonna. So what were you saying about? What were you saying about the Sixers?
Consistency.
Consistency is key. Yeah. Um. Now we're moving on to some NFL teams.
All
This
right.
is the one where I'm not sure. We're just gonna be talking about this upcoming season, assuming everything works out swimmingly, from the virus. Um. But uh, let's say the Saints, better or worse?
I think the Saints, the past couple years, they have gotten knocked out. Some would argue in unfair conditions. I think they're going to have something to prove this season. They're going to come out on a mission.
That's a fair guess. I think that's very possible because this could be. Does Drew Brees have what's his Drew Brees? Didn't he just
He
sign?
just re-signed? Yeah,
Yeah, but was it long or was it just 1 year?
I think it was like 4 years.
Oh, but you can retire before the 4 years.
Yeah,
So
he's not going to though. Oh no, 2 years. 2 years.
2 years, 2 year, $50 million contract. So
Right.
yeah, he's probably gonna resign. He's probably gonna retire at the
I don't
end of
know
the two
because
year.
that team is really good, and
Yeah,
Drew is excited about it. I think they could definitely be Super Bowl contenders.
I think they could, but then again, we said that about last year and the year before.
Well,
I mean, they
last
did
year,
contend they did contend.
someone could have. Everyone argued it could have been a foul on that like game-ending touchdown, and then 2 years ago, the
Well,
the
that was okay. Last year's was way less debatable. You're gonna get bad calls, but like last year, the Vikings weren't even really supposed to be in that game.
yeah
Like
yeah they should have
we
just
can argue about the Rams one, and that was a blatant foul, but like I
yeah
still
they
think
should have put the Vikings away.
that Vikings game
They just kind of struggle with putting the Vikings away. As seen in the
in the Minneapolis Miracle,
Minneapolis Miracle.
followed up by the Minnesota or the Minneapolis Massacre in Philadelphia. The Minnesota Massacre. Um,
Yes, sir. Followed by Nicholas Foles cooking in the bowl.
yeah, I like that one.
Big Dick Nick.
Saint Nick, cooking up. But so you think that they're gonna be good next year?
Yeah, I think they're gonna go far. I think they. I'm gonna make a prediction and say they're gonna get to the NFC Championship.
All right, bold prediction, especially with the Eagles being in their way.
We need a wide receiver.
We have Greg Ward.
We're gonna trade up and get CeeDee Lamb. It's happening. It's happening.
Let's think. So now how about Tampa Bay?
I don't think they're gonna be as good. I mean, they got Tom Brady, Big Whoopie, but
Big Ward.
I don't I just don't think he's gonna be able to do what he did with the Patriots
All
because
right.
a lot of his success. I mean, his coach isn't Bill Belichick anymore. He
One
doesn't
of the
have
greatest coaches of all time, yeah.
right. He doesn't have that great guy on the sideline. I mean, Tom is still a great individual player, but I mean, he's got like Mike Evans and
Hey, Antonio
Chris
Brown's coming to town.
No, they already said they're not signing it.
No, I'm
But
kidding.
I don't feel like they're gonna be able to get it done. They're probably gonna have like 7 wins tops, maybe.
Fair. Very, very fair. Um, I think they're going to be better. I think they're going to get to 9 or 10 wins. 9. 9, 9 or 10. I think we'll get 9 or 10. But it's gonna be tough. There's a good chance that they won't make a lot of wins, but
Yeah.
I think the wide receivers will help out. It's just I think a lot of it's kind of on
Because
how
they
good
don't really
Tom.
have a run game now, do they?
They have Barber
Not great.
and Jones.
How's their
So
offensive line? It's not acceptable.
I want to say it was either average or below
I mean,
average.
well, either way, Brady had a better offensive line in New England,
Yeah.
so
And the
it's
other
going to be
thing
a big change for him not having as much time.
I think it's all on Brady in my opinion. It's how good is Brady because he can if he's as good now as he was like a couple years ago when like in on these bad New England teams where he still got to like the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, where he carries.
He can get this team to the playoffs pretty handily. But if he's not as good as he used to be, they're gonna struggle.
Yeah.
So like we'll have to see what's up with that. How about the LA Chargers?
I mean, so their guy now is kind of Eckler because they got rid of Gordon. They still have
Did
Keenan
Gordon
Allen.
sign somewhere else?
Gordon is with the Broncos, I believe. Yeah.
Right. Oh, you're right. Yeah.
And then their quarterback situation.
I forget who they signed as the quarterback.
They have Tyrod Taylor now. So,
So not great.
it's not great.
Not very good. Not amazing.
And their
It's no
backup
Josh
is
Allen.
Easton Stick.
No Josh Allen.
Yeah, they don't have Josh Allen, so they're clearly not going to be that good.
They're clearly not going to be very good. Do the Patriots even have a quarterback
Oh,
yet?
Yeah, I was looking at him the other day, and he's no Tom Brady.
Who is it?
It is Jarrett Stidham.
Is he young?
Yes.
Jared Stidham.
Yeah, but if he comes onto this field and plays like Tom Brady and it is like their next guy, I'm gonna
That'd be
die.
funny.
I
I would hate that.
I can't deal with the Patriots dynasty.
Especially because this guy looks like he's about 14.
Yeah.
I just looked up a picture of him. He looks like he's like our age.
Is he
Boy.
like gonna be a rookie? Or is this like gonna be his second season, I mean?
He was no, he's been in the league. Wait, he was a no, actually I don't know when he got drafted. He got drafted in
2018?
that sounds 2019. May 2019. So last year he was a rookie.
Okay.
Then he played a lot of years in college. Wait, that doesn't make sense. See, he started playing football, college football in 2015. So he's your second or third year player. But so yeah, I don't know. The Patriots, I would hate if they're good, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're not.
Yeah.
Colts, what you feeling with the Colts? They're
Not
gonna be better.
feeling
They're gonna be
great.
worse than last year. What do you think?
I mean, they might be better because they're more ready for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think they're gonna have at QB?
Didn't they get Philip Rivers?
Right, are they gonna start him over Brissett?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they will because there's no point. There was no reason getting him if they weren't going to start him over Brissett.
Their backup is Chad Kelly, who looks like his picture is basically a mugshot.
And
I think it actually is.
Hey, bro, shout out to Chad.
Mugshot.
Bro, shout out to Chad
Hold on.
Kelly. It is a mugshot. It is a
He's got this
mugshot.
orange jumpsuit on.
I don't know if that's the same guy. Is it?
Yeah, it says County Sheriff's Office.
Bro, what happened to
His
Chad?
face is
Broncos
lopsided.
quarterback Chad Kelly.
Yeah, yeah. Look at his face. Like, click on the picture and look at his face.
I know.
It's so lopsided.
I know.
Oh, poor
In
guy.
legal trouble again.
Gosh darn it, Chad.
What did Chad do? That is the least. That is like the least like bad boy name I've ever heard.
Dude, do you know
Chad again.
how at the top they have like all those little suggestions to go with it?
Yeah.
One of them is swag. Click on the swag, and then there's a picture of him with like 2 machine guns.
I don't see that. I want to see
His
Chad.
nickname is Swag, I think.
Hey Chad, we not really
There's
making
a
fun of
picture.
you,
It's
bro.
just a picture, an alleged photo of Chad Kelly smoking weed.
Chad,
Isn't a
bro,
big
Chad,
deal.
shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. What do I have to hit?
Oh,
Wait,
swag,
what do I
swag.
hit? Swag. Oh,
Yeah.
I see it. Yep. And then he's. Oh yeah, Chad's. That's photoshopped. It's not
No, it's
really
not.
him. That's gotta
Oh,
be photoshopped.
on the guy with the machine guns?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, probably
that
that.
is so photoshopped. I was gonna
The one
say.
where he's smoking weed. I'm saying the one where it has his picture. It says blunts with Chad Kelly.
Chad Kelly smoking weed isn't a big deal. An alleged photo of Chad Kelly smoking weed. That's not it, but there's this and that one. Oh, the swag. Scroll down to the one where he's wearing a bow tie and purple headphones. Oh, that's
What?
precious.
What? Where?
Go on swag and just scroll
Yeah,
down.
I see it.
Precious.
Yo,
Oh, Chad.
yo,
Bro,
Chad Kelly.
that's tough. All right, we need to. I'm giving Chad Kelly some respect, bro. All right. Back to what we were talking about. Colts. Do you think they're gonna be better or worse than last year?
Worse.
Worse. What was the record last year? Were they 7-9 or 8-8 or something like that?
Yeah, an average record.
Yeah, they weren't. So you think they're gonna be worse? I think they
Yeah.
could go. I think they'll probably be the same. We're gonna do two more teams and we're gonna sign off. Second last team. I'm gonna say the Giants.
The Giants. I mean, it's gonna depend on can Saquon get back to his rookie year kind of performances?
Yeah.
And then B, is Daniel Jones ready to step up and become a franchise quarterback? Is he good enough?
I do not think so.
I don't either. But
No, I think the problem with Saquon had this year is people kind of knew how to kind of defend him this year better.
yeah, that's what always happens with good
Yeah.
running backs.
And that's
He also got hurt.
What?
He also was hurt.
He did get hurt, yeah. But he's still very explosive, and I think he's gonna be good for a long time. I think they have a chance. I mean, I think they'll be the third best team in the NFC East this year, so that's something. That's it's not, they're gonna be better than the
That's
Redskins.
something. Yeah.
All right, last team, Cleveland.
I mean, if you look at them on paper, they should be good. But then again,
If you look at that
it's
team on paper,
Cleveland.
they are basically the Warriors of
Yeah,
the
football.
of
But
football.
it's Cleveland, and
I have when everyone was saying last year that Cleveland was going to be so good after they got OBJ and all the
no, I knew they were
Landry,
gonna be
all the
good.
guys, I said I'll believe it when I see it because I know they're going to find a way to Cleveland this up. But I mean, they even got better this year. How did they get better this offseason? Like their lineup is so good. Like it's
I
kind
know.
of insane. I just I'll believe it when I see it, but I think this year is a better chance of doing well. I just don't know. Like
Yeah.
it,
I mean, it's gonna depend on Baker Mayfield's thing.
yeah, I feel like that team is the team of antics, if you know what I mean. Like
Hmm.
everyone on that team is like kind of like just
But
the most
they're not really
dramatic.
like. I feel like they're not a good team. Like they're all individuals.
Yeah,
Like
that's
they
like
don't.
it's
They're not together.
that I feel like they're kind of like this is a weird reference, but it's kind of like you put Trey Young, James Harden, Kyrie Irving on the same team. Like yeah,
Right.
they're
They
all
all
really
need the
good,
ball. Right.
but they all do the same exact thing. Like what do you expect to happen? Like so I kind of think that's what these guys are like, but I don't know. You've seen that clip of Baker Mayfield entering the locker room at halftime with a beard and then shaving it halfway
Yeah,
during halftime and then shaving it like all the way after
yeah,
the game.
kind of a loser move.
It's just funny. Um, do you have any teams you want to talk about before we sign off?
NFL or NBA
Off to
doesn't
you.
matter. Um, do you think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to like be constantly going back to the Super Bowl, or do you think they're going to decline a little bit? Are
I
teams
don't
going to
think
know what they're
constantly.
doing?
I think they're going to be like a constant
Are
champion.
they the next Patriots?
No, I
No.
think I feel like they're more like I feel like they're more going to be what's a team? It's maybe like the Ravens or the New York Giants from like 2008 through 2012. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like those the older Giants and Ravens teams. Like they didn't make the Super Bowl every year, but they were like constantly a contender. So I think they'll constantly make it to the second and round in the AFC Championship, and once in a while go to the Super Bowl. But I don't think they'll be the Patriots where they make it like every
Yeah,
year
we have to
minus like
expect
one once
them
in a
to
while.
win.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be that overpowered. I think they're gonna be like maybe next year they don't make it, but the year after they do, and then they miss it for 2 years, but then they make it. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah,
they're gonna be pretty decent like
I
that.
could see something
Uh,
like that. Yeah.
and
And then do you think the Nets are going to be good next year? Like, do you think Kyrie and KD are going to be able to play well together?
I think they're going to be good. I just don't think they're going to be the best team in the East. Because like here's my thought. Kyrie's as much as people want him to, he's not going to be as good as he was last year. I just can't see that happening. And Kyrie Irving has kind of shown that he can't be the best player on a team without drama. So like, and that's gonna.
Yeah.
I think though they'll probably be like a 4 seed or something like that. And
Do
the
you
other thing is
do you think they'll have like the best duo or no?
no. Well,
No.
actually, it depends what happens. Depends how good Paul George and Kawhi are. Or do you mean in the East or in the entire NBA?
In the entire NBA, like I mean,
Oh, it
I
depends if
think
LeBron and
LeBron.
AD stay together,
Yeah.
and depending how good Paul George is.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because and it also depends on how good KD is. Like KD, there's a chance he could come back and be just a slight decline, but there's also a chance he could come back and kind of just
Right.
be like
Those kind of injuries
Tobias
can mess
Harris.
up. Yeah, those kind of injuries can mess up
Yeah,
people's
look at
careers.
DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
Like he hit him and who else was it Isaiah Thomas? Did he have one of those injuries? Like guys do not recover the same from those injuries.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with them.
It
Also
is.
their team doesn't meld well together. Like they have they have a lot of guards. Like
Hmm.
they
Yeah, they
didn't
kind of
we
have an awkward fit.
yeah, they're three of their four best player, in my opinion, are all guards.
Uh-huh.
And I know and they have DeAndre Jordan, and like I know they had to bring him for KD and Kyrie to come, but like he should not be on that team. Like he's not good enough to get the money that they like. I don't know if you know this, but Kyrie and KD sacrifice some of their pay to get DeAndre more money.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't take maxes because they wanted Jordan to be able to get more money.
Hmm.
But like he's just gonna stop Jared Allen from being as good as he can be. And
Yeah.
I mean I don't love Jared Allen. He's kind of a flopper in my opinion. Uh,
Yeah, but I like him as a player.
I think he's decent. I still got a little bad taste in my mouth that some stuff he does, but I think he's better than DeAndre Jordan. So
Yeah, I love when Embiid elbowed him in the face.
well that, but then there's also like the one with the whole Jared Dudley thing. He
Oh,
flopped. Embiid did not hit him.
yeah.
So I don't know. Just stuff happens. Um. Well, so do you have anything else, or you good?
I'm good. That's all I got.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today. This has been Sports for the World podcast. we're gonna default dance our way out of here, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.